Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. As my lessons continue to progress through the ABRSM Grade 6 Music Theory Workbook, my lessons now turn to question 2, exercise 4. And in this question we are required to realise a figured bass into 4-part harmony. We're in a minor key. We look at following the prescribed progression of a cadential 6/4 in an imperfect cadence, which then leads on to a chord 6. And I explain everything you need to know to fully work through this question. The full lesson can be found on my Patreon channel. If you visit patreon.com/Sharon Bill, you can find the full lesson there, and you can find links to this lesson in the cards and in the description box below. After this short video, you'll see sample examples of this lesson to show you how I work with you, bar by bar, note by note, explaining everything that you need to fully understand, just as if I was sitting right next to you. Everything you need to fully understand this question can be found in my Harmony and Composition textbook. This book is available from Amazon, and you can find the links to this in the cards and in the description box below. And also, everything that you need can easily be found on my website. If you visit www.sharonbill.com, you'll find everything you need right there. Enjoy your studies. Bye. So we could be in G major, but all of these little accidentals give us the clue that we've got a raised 7th, and then we can see that our tonic at the end appears to be an E, and so we can see that we're actually in E minor. So if you want to, you could just sketch out your chords just so you've got an idea. So if I have E, E, G, B, that will sort of spread things out nicely to start with. We could always come back and change that if we need to. It's always best to keep each part stepwise as far as possible, or even the inner parts can just stay stationary for the most part if that's acceptable with the chord choices. So we have no figures here, which means a 5/3, which is a root position chord. So count up a third, count up a fifth, that's an E, G, B chord. So as I've just said, let's just keep things. So this one can move to a G, and then we can already start to check. So 6/4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a 1C, and then we have a B, D sharp, F, 5, that's our D sharp, the third from the root, the bass note, that's our chord 5 with the D sharp, and then we'll see where that resolves in a moment. Now in a chord 1C, in the second inversion, we always double the fifth, so we have E, G, B, B. So here's the E, that makes sense to keep that there. Keeping things, there we go, so we've not got any problems because we've kept it stationary. E, G, B, B, so we've only got one moving part, so that's eliminated a load of potential problems. So you can rearrange these in a different order. However, it's a good idea as far as you ever possibly can to have your 8, 7, 8 in the soprano voice. It just sounds nicer. Sometimes the spacing doesn't allow that to happen, but here I think that's going to work out nicely. Now if we tried to have the G here, then we've got the C here, and that's going to mean the spacing's all wrong because we can't exceed an octave between these voices. If we have the G here, then we've got consecutive fifths, and basically whatever you do, you're going to get problems unless you double. That shouldn't be a minim, should it? Just colour that in. So you're going to have to double the third. That is sort of an exception to the rule. So we need the G there. So really, in this progression, this is the only solution, and we've sort of followed the 8, 7, 8, and then we've gone from an imperfect cadence, and we've almost extended that cadence to an interrupted cadence, haven't we, as we've moved on. So now this is going to be a 5B because we've got a 6-3, so 1, 2, third is an F and then a B. So we can't actually resolve this leading note. It's a bit of a delayed resolution. However, when we do get to this chord 1, we must have the tonic here because we can't then resolve it in another voice part. Even though it's delayed, it must still be in the same voice part. So let's keep the B there. That can be the F, because if we went down to the B, I suppose we could go, but I think it's just nicer to keep in this register. I suppose you could go, no, because if we went down to the B here and then up to the E, that's a really angular voice part, and it's much nicer to just fall in step to finally resolve. It's just like a little sort of arpeggiation, sort of almost a chape kind of thing where we leap a third and then go down. It's not arpeggiation, isn't it? But it's still keeping within a nice stepwise resolution ultimately.